Hi folks, thanks for joining me for another episode of Durf Did It. On today's episode, we're going to be making a bandsaw box. You'll come along with me as I make my first ever bandsaw box. I got this book from David Picciuto a couple weeks ago and decided it was time to give it a try. Hope you like it. So the first thing that we're going to do is make a copy of the template out of the book and apply a little bit of spray adhesive to that. Now we're going to take that template and apply it to our pre-made blank. Blank was made using black walnut, cherry, and oak. I had already put this blank together a few months ago and knew that I wanted to make a bandsaw box, but hadn't had the opportunity to do. Now that I have the outer shape of the box cut, I'm going to bring it over to my disc sander and smooth out all the edges. The sander that I have is makeshift that I put together to be able to take advantage of my lathe. This is just a 7-inch disc with 100 grit paper applied to it. It worked pretty well. And it's a lot cheaper than buying a new piece of equipment. What you were seeing here was me cutting the back off of the box. Unfortunately, didn't hit the record button at the right time. But what I did do is cut about 3/8 of an inch off the back of the box. Now it's time to cut the drawer out of the box itself. Of course, keep in mind I have removed the back of the box. Here I'm going to glue back on the back of the box. Now, I've already put some glue on, now I'm putting on a bit more, and yes, I do like to use my best glue spreader that I have in the workshop. And here, of course, I'm going to clamp it all together. Here I'm going to remove the front and the back of the drawer. Now keep in mind that this drawer isn't square, it's rounded, so I'm going to really do the best I can to stabilize this thing so it doesn't get pulled in the bandsaw. But by using slow, even pressure, I can cut and make a good smooth cut through the bandsaw. Now with the front and the back cut off the drawer, I've taken a pencil and traced around a bit of the edge to actually create the drawer itself. I've tried to keep the drawer to about, a little less than 1/4 of an inch thick. Now we're going to glue the front and the back onto the drawer. We do need to keep track of which piece goes where because we want our grain to match up perfectly. And this is a pretty good idea of what the box is going to look like when we're done. All we have left are to make the handle, to sand it up, and to round over the corners. I cut the little handle for the front of the drawer out of a piece of white oak. I think this is a nice accent to the front of the drawer. Now I'm going to use my orbital sander to smooth up all the edges and surfaces. I do go through 3 different grits. I used 120, 240, and 320. Now with everything nice and smooth, I'm going to take the box to my router table and using a 1/8 inch roundover bit, I round over all of the edges that I can safely get into the router. And finally, it's time to apply a finish. For this, I'll be using cutting board oil. It's a nice one from a company called Milk Paint. and I feel like it gives a nice satin finish, but brings out all the highlights in the wood. This is a fun little project to make. Doesn't take a lot of tools, and pretty much anybody can do it. Hope you've enjoyed watching this with me, and I say give it a try.